Pacha is a humanitarian organization which is involved to help promote education by providing scholarship, bursaries, and any other form of financial assistance to individuals with disabilities and amputation. We do also promote education in other ways, such as helping young students from 9th grade to 12th grade who are required to have volunteering hours in order to graduate. If interested, please contact us at www.hopewithpacha.org. It's www.hopewithpacha.org, and our email is hopewithpacha@gmail.com. hopewithpacha@gmail.com. And to contact us by phone in the States, you can call us at 508-217-8038, and in Canada you can call us at 613-800-2084. Again, it's 508-217-8038 for the States. In Canada, it's 613-800-2084. Have a good day.
Good day again. This is Pacha Space. I'm your host, Gary, and thanks for allowing Pacha Space into your living room. Today's subject is about sex. We have Dr. Adelia Batista. She's actually a doctor, but also she's a sexologist. I'm glad to have you again, Dr. Adelia. How are you doing?
Hello, Gary. Hello, people from Pacha Space, and everybody that is listening. I'm fine, and hello, and I hope everybody is ready to listen about sex.
Okay. My first question would be, tell us what you do as a sexologist.
Yeah, it is a new specialty in medicine. We work with the area where people suffer about sexual problems, or we prevent sexual problems. It is about the main sexual problems about some human being can be the desire, disturb of desire, that it is what we will talk about today. They can also suffer about erection, and can suffer about anorgasmy. It is when the ladies or the guys that do not have orgasm. They can treat also about what they call the premature ejaculation, but in our science now it calls rapid ejaculation, and we can treat also the problems in assertivity in couples that don't go the same way in sexuality. We can work in big problems like paraphilies, and that is very, very grave disease in sexuality that people call perversion. And we work with the psychiatrists and the psychologists about that. Then the work of a sexologist in medicine, it began something like 60, 70 years ago with Dr. Masters and Johnson, and they were a couple. They were medical doctors, and they began to make tests and things in this type of stuff. And after them, many people in all over the world, especially in France, they did many researches and they found many results and many resolutions for sexual problems. So, sexology is a type of passion because I've found in emergency room and in hospital, sickness in the hospital, people that were in the hospital, a lot of things with sexual cause, with sexual foundation. Then I was very curious to know about sexuality, and then I did many courses and many specialties about that. Today in Brazil, I am one of the sexual educators and sexual therapists in the country.
I see. Um, I hear about for male. I hear about Viagra. Is there such thing for female?
No, we don't have yet a real um, medicine for desire or for excitation for females. We
So
have
what
some,
type of medicine can help to increase desire for women?
yes. So there exists some research. They sometimes they use some medicines. They have some research going, but the last research, the medicine, it was to 2012. They had the problems with depression and headache with the last research. I forgot the substance, but there is no such medicine yet. There is some researches in tribulus terrestris that increase testosterone, and there is some research in arginine and also in oxytocin. Then I think we will have this type of medicine not so long. I think it will be soon. But like men, taking Viagra is not really the complete solution.
Can you give us more detail about that? Why do you mean it's not a complete solution?
Yeah, because when you take Viagra, it will be good for your erection if you are with the, 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 the wish, the desire to have sex, really. Because if you have some problem, if you have something that take out focus, the Viagra will not work. Or Viagra or sildenafil or taldenafil or valdenafil, any one of them that we see Alice um, or the others. So it's very important that you don't take Viagra just for security. Exactly because there is another type of things that happen, and maybe the Viagra will not work for you. Then maybe you need to trade to measure your um, hormones.
I see.
Then Viagra can be a good medicine, of course. It was a revolution,
I see.
but this is still not the total solution.
I see. Um, then my next question would be, what type of medicine can help to increase desire for men,
Okay, so today,
other than Viagra?
yes, today we still use testosterone, and you have now types of testosterone that you can use by your skin. They are modulated for your skin, and you can use injection, and it is a much more aggressive. We can tell like that. Unfortunately, people from gyms and things like that use testosterone like that, and they have problems. Anyway, the testosterone is the greatest medicine for increase the desire, not only in man but in human too. And about medicine for a man, we can tell about the Tribulus terrestris, that is an Indian and Chinese component that you can use it till 5 grams per day.
What's the name
And
again? Can you repeat the
yes,
name again?
Tribulus terrestris. Generally, the doses, the normal doses go to 1 gram per day. But the last Congress in sexuality that I went, they told in one research that they were doing, I think, in India, about to use till 5 grams per day. This is what the type of testosterone that I use, because the triples test will increase the testosterone in a natural way, okay? Because it's phytotherapy.
What do you mean testosterone in natural way? From
Because it will push the what we call nortestosterone or norandrosterone, and this norandrosterone will transform in testosterone at the end. So the free testosterone will increase. It is the free testosterone that the man and human use as desire, for desire.
my question was, what is being frigid mean for women and lack of erection for men?
Okay. The lack of erection that we call erection dysfunction will, I think, will be the stuff for another show, because there is many things to tell about, especially that people trust so much in medicines like Viagra and Cialis and things like that.
Okay.
So
We'll invite you. We'll invite you specifically for that on the next time.
it's very important. But lack of erection or erection disturb is the dysfunction that exists, that man cannot stand its own penis, and there is a problem for because that. So we will talk about that. And the lack of the frigid is no more the word that we use for lack of desire. We call this low desire syndrome. It is when human, for any reason, or men too, but especially about frigidity, about women, when woman does not have desire for make sex and for make love, and this can be many causes, many problems, like medicines as antidepressives or
stress. Stress, maybe.
Yes, stress can cause low desire. Another thing that can cause low desire is gynecological problems that can cause pain, infections in a genital place. Another thing that can cause it can be um, the problems with the extensive and the long use about hormones. I told already, but it is the long, because it will not just stop to take hormones, because something that you can repair. And then there is a lot of problems, like women that went to be abused in the past and have some trauma about sexual abuse, can have problems with low desire. And people that come from philosophies that sex is something about morality and not about the biological and psychological essence of a human being. That is a problem with that too, because they are trained to be not a sexual person.
I see. I see. Um, then, like I said, for the erection part, we'll have a specific show just for that. So we hope to have you just for that the next show, or any other time we'll have that just specifically for that. Um, does female desire changes some days during the month?
Yes, yes. Biologically, women obey the cycle of menstruation, and the menstruation cycle is in three parts, and the second part, the desire is more up because the nature is wise. So in the first 8 days of the cycle, it's natural desire, the normal desire. Let's put in five, 0 to 10. Let's put in five, 6, or 7. So, and in the beginning of 9 to 10 day, you begin the the fertile days. The human began to be more excited, more in terms of desire. So it will last till the day 20, something like that, around the day 20, 18, 20, and so it goes to 10. 0 to 10, it goes to 10, and so they come back to 7, 5, till the menstruation. This is the cycle about desire, biological desire, in the female, in the days of the month. Yes.
Um, I I want to make sure my listeners really understood that. Can you just quickly repeat the, especially the things about how many days while you
Okay.
have your period?
The menstruation cycle is around 28 days in a month.
Okay.
And we have the human have three parts in the cycle. The first part is the menstruation till the fertile time, and the second time begin around 80, 10 days after menstruation, and so the first day of menstruation, and so goes till the 18th or 20 days day, and it will be the fertile part in the cycle. This part is a very, very high desire, because the nature is wise. The nature wants to attract men for the fertilization. So the nature will give to the human more desire in this time. And after they go back to the normal, depends on the raising that they had about desire. Okay?
Okay. Um, could we say the same for men?
No, about the days of the month, no. Maybe if in the beginning of the month he is very well with a lot of good things in the life, or in the end of the month the things does not work well. Man, incredibly is drive more about emotions in that type of days of the, but generally they have. Depends on the excitation for the other side, for his partner, or the person is beside him.
I see. Um, then my next question would be, does men think more about sex than women?
There are some research about that, and the answer is, at the present time, yes. Men thinking more about sex, but culturally is it is culturally cultural reason is a very, very big thing too, together with the biology. Men think more about the sexuality and sex and make love because, first of all, for him is easier, not responsibility. The about the sexuality is culturally less than for human. Human need to worry about the pregnancy, to worry about the the sense of emotion that they learned. Then the last research tells that in a population of a man, um, two, 26% of men would like to have sex every day. It is
26, 25%?
26%.
26%.
Uh, yes, of men in a population wants to have sex every day. For what we think about is not so much. It's not so much because many men tell they want to have sex every day, but it's not true. Only 26 of the men population are able and really wish and desire to have sex every day.
You may have the
And
desire, but will you be able to do it?
but
You need some
desire,
energy. You need
desire,
some energy to
yes,
do it
the
often.
desire it is what push everything.
I see.
Then it's the first part of sexual approach. Then it's the desire. Then if you have the desire, the rest can be easier easier for you. I am telling not only the brain desire, the body desire, all the connections. Okay? So what I can tell is that in a population of human, only 10% of human would like to have sex every day. Then what we can tell about desire, it is we are not so far with the men. Uh, Maybe if that research would be 100 years ago, it should be another answer. But it is the reason that culture is very important for sexual education.
I
It's
see.
very, very important. Yeah. But yes, men still have more desire than women.
I see. I see. What about the altitude? Does altitude um, or weather play a role to help for more desire?
Yes. Uh, we have testosterone. It is the hormone of desire. Man and human. We have few testosterone, but it is what push us for make sex, for have a desire about sex. And man has testosterone like his almost his principal hormone. Then what increase and decrease testosterone, whether and altitude, it is high altitudes. They can decrease the amount of testosterone because cold make more vaso constriction, and so the brain and the suprarenals, they superkidney, they go on like not manufacturing the testosterone like they do in places not so high with a little low altitude. And the weather, yes, in the summer the desire is more because the testosterone works better in the summer because they are more produced in the summer. If you produce more testosterone in the summer, in the hot weather, you will see that most of people born in generally in autumn and winter. because they were made in spring or summer. And there is a truth. People what is born is like that. If you
Is
do
it
the research.
is it because in the winter people people usually have less things to do, so they more apt are having sex other than other type of seasons, right?
It should be different because in the winter you are more with your partner because you are
Exactly,
more at home.
exactly.
So it could be different because and you have things that warm your house. So it could be different, but the weather outside this summer and this spring, especially the summer, increase the amount of testosterone. And if it's hot, the people has more desire, men and women, because the testosterone is up.
But isn't it true that yes, the summer increased the testosterone, but meat or high protein product, especially milk type of product, also increase the testosterone, no?
Uh, we have some research about food, but what we can say it is that food we didn't find some specific food. People tell that many food are aphrodisiac, but we don't have proof. They tell peanuts, they tell maybe milk, they tell maybe. I tell a lot about another things that I can prove, like exercise. Exercise can increase testosterone. If you are a person that is sedentary, you will have less testosterone. And then this is true for men and women. And one of the things that we advise people in the office when they are making therapy about desire and even about another problems, erection or disturbs about sex, we tell, do you make exercise? Because exercise is very, very important to increase naturally the testosterone because testosterone build it's a very, very important builder of muscles.
I see, I see. Um, is there, is it true that women are less excited when watching porno or erotic movies than men?
Uh, there is one research, and the person that did the research studied all the phases, all the parts of sexual sexual behavior, um, uh, sexual performance in human, and he studied that the excitation of a woman comes because her DNA and her culture of morality become from the sensorial cortex, and the sensorial cortex is responsible for the empathy, for the emotion, for the that's the reason that when a woman not used to see this type of movies or magazines or figures or pictures, uh, they don't excite because they need some empathy.
But
They are not trained. They are not trained for that.
is
It
that
does not mean
is
that
that all
they don't
women?
have desire, but
Is
they will have uh, uh, more time to acquire this type of excitation. They
but
will learn to have that. So
isn't this all in your head? You if the woman is very interested, the woman can may not take as much time if she's not interested. No.
yeah, but but we can train ourselves. It's like masturbation. We can train ourselves. This is they are behaviors that were forbidden. But men were always free to look at, and so the man have in his body the most sexual organ. It is for him. It is the vision. So if he see, or if the man see, he will have excitation because he's free to see the things. He was not controlled by bill 1,000 years of like human. Do not look, do not do that, do not do that. So the training of man is very free, and the training of a woman is not that free. So she must understand that and begin to see, to look at. And so she will train the connection about her sensorial cortex with her vision. And so I think she will get much more excitation, and it will be okay. But still at the present time, she thinks that porno movies or pornography or even erotica things, they are a little not so much exciting like if she is in the presence of another partner.
But
That is what happened.
isn't it because the um, the woman is just not excited about the person or the partner? If the partner excites the woman, the visual will be as excited as for men, no?
No, we for a long time we told that people does sex to other. Okay, so you are responsible for the pleasure of the others, or the woman are responsible for the pleasure of the man, or the men are responsible for the pleasure of the human. What the science discovered it is that the pleasure is something that you give to yourself. You
Exactly.
give to,
Exactly.
or you free yourself for the pleasure that
You
the other gives to you. You free yourself to discover the pleasure. The pleasure is a discover from the own person. It
exactly.
is a self discovery.
Exactly.
So this is very important to tell because many men felt or feel responsible for give pleasure to the human, and maybe the girl, the lady, is no free for pleasure yet,
Exactly.
or she has no the what she learned, what she put in her head, or what she thinks is wrong. It is a wrong thing about sexuality. So uh, you must work this thing and another orientation. But it is very important to tell that man and human share pleasure, but they don't give pleasure to each other. They are not responsible for the pleasure of the other.
Exactly.
This is very what does not mean that you must not be interested in the pleasure of the other, because the pleasure of the other person is a very big fountain of pleasure for yourself. Understand?
Can you repeat that again?
It's very tell. When you now you will know that you are not more responsible for the pleasure of boy or girlfriend. You, it does not mean that your responsibility is gone, but your interest for the pleasure of the other continue because you share pleasure. So, if you share pleasure with each other, you must be interested by the pleasure of the other. One of the reasons it is because the pleasure of the other is a cause, a fountain of the pleasure for yourself. It increases the desire. It increases many hormones in the body, except, especially the oxytocin, that is the hormone that put together a couple, make the couple interest to each other each day more. And we are telling about hormones. We are not telling about feelings.
Exactly.
It is the reason that many um, weddings or marriages in the past that the father gave a business with the other father and married two people, and they didn't love anybody, but they didn't love each other too. They were together for 40, 50 years, and they were together for themselves, and they didn't betray and they didn't do anything because the oxytocin can unite couples, can unite, can give a relationship with harmony, sexual harmony to others,
I see.
to couple. Understand?
I see.
So, um, what I want to tell people, this is very important, Gary. It is sexuality can and must be think also in a biological and in a cultural way. Because if you don't see, if you see only in the psychological way, you will think everything is a psychological problem, and it is not.
I see. I see. Um, but why do you say culture? I'm not quite sure why culture has something to do with that.
Yeah, no, it is because when people make guilty many things about sexuality, and
Or
we
you mean some cultures?
even doctors, how our school is not well prepared in sexuality in all over the world, because I am going to many and many congress around the world, and the psychologists are more well prepared than us in many things. So they tell to the patient like that, oh, this is natural, okay, it goes like that because it's normal, and sometimes it's not normal. For example, a doctor that today tell to the patient, for the man give pleasure to the woman, he's wrong, because we have learned that the pleasure is something that comes from ourselves.
Exactly.
We give it to ourselves.
Exactly.
So pleasure is something that we want to feel, and we want to be free to feel and work for that.
I
It's not someone that will work on us.
I understand. I understand. Then, how about getting old? Um, how getting old affects desire?
Yes. So I told that we have a hormone that it is vital for um, sexuality. The hormone is testosterone.
Yes.
Okay. So when we become old, the frontal lobe and the brain began to be a little smaller. And when it goes smaller, it press the place that command the testosterone be made by the body. So the first thing that the aging make us with less desire, it's not because the other hormones or the body or things like that. It's because the testosterone decrease. So when we are in our 60s and 70s, productive in sex because we have a testosterone lower and lower and lower. But today we have a possibility to increase the testosterone again. So I think our generation, because you were at my age, our generation and the generation in 60s and 70s, they are already better than our parents and our grandparents because they discovered that they can make more sex and make more love and be more happy even they have low testosterone. And this disturbed because in the past the age did not disturb. It was natural for the person. Okay, you have 60, you have 70. Okay, you it is time to stop sex. No, I have patients with 90 years old that are waiting to have more desire, waiting to have more erection, waiting to have more orgasm. So this is now, this is not really a problem that we cannot solve. It was in the past, but with good exercises, physical exercise, monitored by professionals and physiotherapists and good medicines and good food, I think a person can be active sexually till they die. For me, it is my own experience in the office. I tell you, I have my patient more old that I had was 96 years old when I had him in the office, and he had some good erection after the treatment. Not really satisfactory like 14 years old, but he was okay. Then desire the same. I have at these days I have a woman with 8 9 years old, and she's looking for desire because she found a man and she wants to make sex.
I
And
see. I see. Well, then my next question then, um, earlier you mentioned about masturbation.
yeah,
Can you please tell us about more about that for men and more about that for women, for those people listening to us, especially you just talked about a lady that wanted to increase, um, um, you know, increase sex interest for sex in her life. Can you tell
yeah,
us a bit more about
yes.
masturbation?
This masturbation is one technique that is natural in both sexes. It's natural to be natural. But human, for all their lives, they listen, close your legs, don't put your hand in your genital. Your genital is something is sacred. You must to put it in some place like one place very. It is a lot of bullshit that gave to human a very very bad future desire.
Habit.
And they, yes, a future desire because after they stay with the, the after the wedding, the marriage, after not being virgin anymore, blah blah blah, they had difficulty to make sex, and it is a lot of people, a lot of human that does not go with desire for with the partner. It is in some countries it is almost 60% of human does not go to make sex with the partner with desire because she wants, because she really wants. It means that she goes and what she does is try to have the desire. Some of them will have, some of them will not, and we will make sex just for the pleasure of the other. So one of the techniques we use in the office is to show what is masturbation and how use masturbation like a technique to increase the desire, to increase the possibility of orgasm, and to make better the erection in the man, because it is
And
like an exercise too. So it is a very good thing to tell about is masturbation. If you want one show during the year, we can talk about that.
so
But
you mean with masturbation, the man can increase. Um, how can
erection,
the man increase the erection with masturbation?
because uh, even it is a least muscle, we the penis is a muscle, okay? If it is, and you need what? You need it to make it hard. You need blood. You need a good circulation. And where is the good circulation? The good circulation exists better in the muscles. So when you see that your pelvic plates, uh, the gluteus, the
Your
thigh, or
what? Your
the
what?
genital space, yes, is have more muscles. You will have better musculation. You have better circulation. So you increase the amount of fluid in this area. Okay,
The
circulation
amount of what? The amount of fuel?
of fluid in this
Oh,
area.
liquid.
At the same time, when you do exercise, when you masturbate, you are exciting a muscle that is very, very loose, that is the penis, but you are exciting it. So you are doing the both things. Then many men think that as they have a woman, they don't masturbate anymore. So, or it is a sin to masturbate, or it is not good to masturbate. It will become um, vicious. No, no. Uh, Everything if you do with balance, you will never, never be bad for the body and not for the mind. And if you find balance in everything, and if you find balance in sexuality, the masturbation can help you. Unfortunately, you will have people that they are sick. It is the reason that exists the sexologists. If they are sick, they need the help. They need to look for a doctor. If they masturbate many times a day, or they have a vicious to masturbate, so they need a doctor. They need somebody
So,
to help them.
what would be the normal time a week or a month for men or women?
Depends. Depends. Once in a day, it's okay. Twice in a day, it's okay. Depends. Depends on your what you cannot. It is to make masturbation use for your pleasure and only that, and use that many times per day, because like that you will be addicted on it, like you can be addicted to eat a lot, or to smoke. It's the same, because it will be something that makes you less anxious. So the good thing it is, when you are in adolescence, you can tell to your kids, or people, your kids in adolescence, you tell to them to masturbate with balance, because this age can make many changes in many things: desire, ejaculation, and orgasm. And of course, you will not tell them not to masturbate, because when you tell that, you will go against the nature.
But
But at the same time, you will tell them do the things with balance.
I don't.
Generally, in some countries, Gary, in some countries, they used to tell that two 1 to 2 masturbations per day is normal. And when you have someone, it could be once, 2, 3 times per week. It could be normal when you have a partner, and so it is not really something that you can worry about.
I see.
What is the reason you to look for help? It is when masturbation is the most part of your day, like 4, 5, 6, 7 times per day in a age that you are not more adolescent, and even you are have a partner, you need to masturbate. Even you have a partner, it is something that you need to masturbate every day or 2 times per day. Even you have a partner, it is something wrong with you too,
But
or with relationship.
I understand very much, and you have explained it very well, except the part that I don't think my listeners understand, because I'm not sure I understand it, is how does the masturbation help for the erection?
Yes, because it increases the circulation around the penis. It is the region, the genital region, and it is like you make an exercise. Okay?
Okay.
So it is like an exercise, an anatomical exercise. Also, it will increase your desire. So masturbation will make more blood comes to your penis and will make your the region
You mean more blood?
of genital
You
much
mean
more strong.
you
You
mean
have more muscles,
yeah you
so you have blood. Okay?
fluid blood.
Yes.
Okay.
So what I had 4 patients I brought to one congress, one symposium, that they were cured. They had the 4 ages difference. It was 45, 53, 67, and 74. Um, they just with exercise, physiotherapy, and masturbation, they didn't have any, they didn't keep any medicine. They didn't take any took any medicine, and they went to the symposium with a good direction. They spoke in the symposium. So it is
Um,
a work that I did, and I did because in a congress, in an international congress, one physiotherapist did one conference about to make more strong your pelvis in exercise. So this is very important. Your belly, your low belly, the region of the thighs, the region of the gluteus. It is what I told, because and around and the direction will be okay. The desire in you and woman, man and human will be better, and so this place will have more muscles, so it will have more blood, it will have more circulation, and the innervation will be more um, pushed. Understand?
about I understand. Yes, thank you for the explanation. About um, after after the erection,